recording. Happy Friday. It's MREA Fridays with Mary Beth, Kurt, Megan, myself, and hopefully Dana will come on. Mary Beth, I know you were just talking that you started to look at some properties with your husband. Do you want to use that as a launching point for the conversation today?
Yeah, sure. I've been talking about how put yourself in the conversations, right? So my first reach out, and I just want to encourage people, is that my first reach out was to reach out to Megan and Kurt to say, hey, how did you guys really get started? And what are the numbers and what are the percentages that you were looking at? Only because they have had a few successful flips in recent time, right? So I think that was the other thing, is you can listen to some people who would tell you what they did in the old market or the last time there was a shift, all these foreclosures popped up and what they did. But, find somebody that is doing it right now in a similar market, a local market, right? And so in that, it got me looking, and Megan's advice was to just block those 2 hours a week to just put time on it, right? Time on task over time. Mm-hmm. She got me over the idea of that it would take daily activities. She got me over that, because it was like, no, you could just do it like once a week, like really dig deep, maybe put yourself on some auto drips of, certain price points in certain towns. Mm-hmm. And so I really just started looking around, and different websites, so different auction sites. Is that xome.com?
How we bought our house. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the one that I just went to go look at today was on that, and it got taken off, and now they're asking for all bids.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get it shown up on here. I don't know why it's not. It might take a little while for us to get some pictures.
Hello.
What's up, Godfrey?
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to park it as far away from the camera as possible.
So, yeah, let me just see something if this is going through or not, because it would be great to look at this video that I took. I wonder if I could just show it in the camera, if not.
Now, where were you looking? What area?
So we live in Middlesex County, New Jersey, and for it to be like a realistic timetable and just make it possible, it has to be somewhat close, in that our contractors are local, and Godfrey is one of them. So it has to be local. This one literally is across the street from his sister's house. But it's a house. It's a full brick house, mm-hmm. on all 4 sides. Kurt, I'm going to go ahead and post one of these pictures here, because this is the staircase that goes to nothing.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, your favorite. And Godfrey was like, "Oh, get the Kurt and Megan one, like the 2 toilet bowls that you had."
Oh yeah. Post it back every week. It's great.
I just make this point, is when you look at this house, it's solid, it's brick, it's big, it's 5 bedrooms, it's got a nice foot of property, it's in a great location close to major routes. And then here's the kitchen.
Okay.
And you can start to see the water damage that's coming in through the house.
Oh yeah. So you're
okay. And here's the tub in that first floor bathroom.
Okay.
And you could see that there's water coming through that tub basin.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, was there, this is the roof.
Oh yeah.
Off that stairwell where water must have been pouring down in, right? Yeah. So when we take a look at that, I then start to question, like, does the electrical need to be redone? Are the pipes corroded? And if we're looking at just cosmetic work, I don't think we have a problem with that kind of stuff. I mean, ripping out sheetrock and whatnot. Some of those walls are plaster walls. And that's another concern of mine, is where are the pipes? Are the pipes in the walls? If we break the plaster, what happens then? Is that foundational? What are you guys thinking just from this here?
That's a big project.
Yeah, and I don't want to know, like, is it a good go or not, but like when you see those pictures as an investor who's done some, what are you thinking?
There's no matter what, there's no problem with a property at the right price that gets the right ARV.
Mhm.
So really the first question is,
Slow it down. What's the ARV?
ARV is after renovation value,
Or after repair value.
after repair value.
Sure.
So what if this house was renovated,
At 5 bedrooms,
got renovated, what is it worth?
Okay. So on that street, in that town, and I would probably turn it into a 4-bedroom.
Okay.
And that's still a lot, is Hayaida, is the safe number or a little stretch, like a stretch number I think would be a 325. A safe number would be 300.
Okay.
Now, in a really crazy freak market, if we did it beautiful, and could it be at 350, 375? Sure. But I wouldn't bet on that. I would just say Woodbridge, 4-bedroom in that location, across the street from housing that was just rebuilt, but housing.
Got it.
And it's a cut through kind of from one main route to Route 9. I would say 300 is a solid number to stand on.
Cool. So we do our budget on our safe number. So you have your safe number, you have maybe your marketing number, and you have your reach number. So we're doing our budget based on our safe number. Everything else above that is a bonus.
Gravy.
So
okay. So walk me through this. If it was 300.
Okay. If it was 300, so you obviously need a new roof.
Hold on.
I got it.
I'm going to put this with a black marker on one piece of paper so that we can easily see it when we're done talking about this.
Let me get this. Let me get this.
Yeah, there with the marker.
You need
You have 3 bathrooms, a roof.
Yeah, we're going to talk this through.
I mean,
Okay. So
and
Yeah, paint.
paint.
That'd be cool painted.
Yeah, that would look really good painted.
What's the back of it? What's going on there? What's that be looking like?
It's a deck.
Oh, it was a deck.
Yeah, you need windows.
you need windows. Yep.
Yeah, this is a shell. This is a shell.
Yeah.
It's
What
a
else?
shell, right? It is a shell.
Hi, Dana.
Then,
Okay,
Alright.
so
You got your writing utensil.
got it. Okay.
Bolígrafo y un papel.
Un papel. Yeah. So listen, so now you're saying the ARV, the after repair value, after restoration value is, we're assuming, and Dana, we're talking about the Woodbridge house that Godfrey and I just went to go look at. 300,000 is a safe number. What?
How many roofs? Just kidding.
how many roofs?
One with 2 kitchens actually, but anyway, go.
How many roofs?
There's a kitchen upstairs. They were operating, and that's the other thing. Don't get fooled by what they're doing in the house compared to what the zoning is in the house.
You
So the
check
zoning is a
Check the zoning?
what?
What is the zoning?
We have to go look at that today
All right.
because it is on the tax record. It is single family. However, if it could be converted from a single family to a legal 2, this is a different story, right, Meg?
ARV might be a very, very different story.
Because now we're going to take into consideration what kind of rent roll somebody could get off the property.
Yeah.
Well, and
Now-
generally speaking, a single family house is not going to sell for as much as a 2-family. Like the 2-family.
Now Dana's interested because now we got 2 people living under one roof with different rent rolls.
We just did this. We found a single family and we were able to purchase it at a higher price point than we would if it was a single family because we knew the value afterward as a 2-family was $100,000 more.
Okay, so in the competition of the bidding, you probably came in a little higher than the other ones, not knowing that information.
Yeah.
Factoring that in. Okay, thank you. So we're gonna go check and make
Check
sure.
your
it's zoning.
zoning. That I mean.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And where would you check the zoning?
Search
maps.
Woodbridge
Zoning
zoning
maps.
map.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then just make
So-
sure, just look at like everything has an R number. So or like a CBD, central business district, B, highway commercial, redevelopment, whatever. If there's housing across the street, I gotta think they're gonna
It's
allow
gonna allow
multifamily
multi.
there.
You can always call the town and double check. We usually do that because it's usually a quick phone call. I mean, if they're there at the moment, you might get an email, whatever.
Towns know that they're not gonna put single family housing next to a housing complex. I mean, they
And
just
that
know
housing complex has been there way before, probably even way before the houses were there, the original ones. They're the brick buildings. So okay, so let's move forward. So 300,000 is the ARV.
All right, we'll assume this is single family.
Single family.
So ARV, you got three bathrooms, right? Full baths. So you got to know your bathroom cost. I can't answer that for you.
Okay, so what is your bathroom cost? 15,000.
Our bathroom is 5,000 for a full bath.
5,000 completely gut reno, new fixtures, everything.
Especially with an ARV of around 300. I mean, if we're looking at a $500,000 price point, then the cost will go up a little bit. But for 300, you're looking at like
you're gonna put
middle of the road almost.
You're gonna put
IKEA's fine.
The cheapest,
Home Depot,
nice looking stuff.
Yeah, Home Depot special's fine. Like you don't have to go.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So ours
okay, so we got 3 baths. They're gonna cost $5 grand a pop.
Yeah. You got a new roof. I mean, call it 10.
It's a large house. Yeah, I would say about 10.
Okay, new roof because you got to put the new everything, rafters, plywood, and shingle. So or Liberty, which so we're gonna call that 10,000.
Yep.
What else?
And
kitchen. I would say you're at 15. You're doing IKEA cabinets. You're doing basic stainless package, granite quartz countertops,
which are actually cheaper than granite right now in a lot of places.
Yep.
And less maintenance. So.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of what our kitchen costs. If the kitchen's a little bit larger and you need like 3 walls of cabinetry, then you might need to add.
No, I would say a 10-foot kitchen is standard, and that's probably what this would take.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so we got baths, we got a roof, we got kitchen. What about floors?
Yeah, what's your flooring look like?
Oh, it needs all new flooring, like the whole house, top, bottom. There is some hardwood that could get refinished in maybe 2 of the 8 rooms, but we're talking about at least 75% of the floors need to be replaced.
In that area, at that price point, is carpet in bedrooms okay?
I'd say so.
I think I'd say so for the opposite for the bedrooms.
Way cheaper putting $250 per room carpet than $1,000 a room hardwood.
Sure, absolutely. Especially
here's another question for you. If you pick up a nice looking $199 a square foot tongue and groove laminate floor, is that okay?
Is that appropriate for the area?
That's more desirable for the area. Just I think one of the things is our demographics. I just feel we do a lot more floors, hardwood and ceramic floors than rug.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is I'm saying versus hardwood.
Yeah.
If you got like a cheaper
but nice looking
laminate.
Yeah.
Would that if that passes,
I would do that.
I would do that, because then what happens is, you look at where your share costs are. You have your guys, Godfrey, this might be your job, but you have your guys that are doing all of the finished stuff. If you bring in a drywaller, they're going to do drywall. Like when a GC comes in, they have their guys that do all their things. But every GC has their 2 guys that follow them around to every job, that they install the toilets, they're putting the fixtures in, they're probably putting the molding in, they're doing, finished stuff.
The caulking where it needs.
Yeah. So if you get tongue and groove vinyl flooring, you guys make a Home Depot trip and get something on special, and Godfrey and his buddies are putting them in. That's what we're doing. So if I can save labor costs there, because it's the same guys that are putting the cabinets in, it's the same guys that are doing this. You know what I mean? Yep. That's where your cost kind of reduces.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And just for some people who may not have those resources, we're just talking what it would cost. I mean, that $15,000 for the kitchen is also with some labor in there. And if we're doing the kitchen cabinet installation, we might be able to cut it down a little bit. Who knows? But we're looking at, carpet, laminate. So what do you base it on? Is it a per square footage, or do you say if we're going to do 5 rooms, we're going to put a budget of like $300-400 a room?
Square foot is going to be your most accurate. So if you
Okay.
had that, I would go off that. But we try to cut the cost wherever we can. And something like carpet in a bedroom, like you're going to cut your costs significantly by doing that. And you can have the carpet guys in there at the same time everyone else is doing the tongue and groove flooring. So you can kind of like cut down your time as well, because time is money when you're talking about flips.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now what else do we have? Baths, roof, kitchen, carpet, and floors.
You
Yeah.
gotta deal with the plaster.
So yeah, I mean, with that much water damage, there is a chance that there are going to be some things that are shot. I would budget on the smaller end for electrical, unless you have an old panel
or like knob and tube or something crazy.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's the age that has knob and tube. But you guys probably could see that anyway.
It was not knob and tube. I actually did take a picture of the electric board.
So you have some ancillary electric stuff. That's a small item. Plumbing could be. Okay, yeah, that looks. That's a 2-family. You have a 2-family.
There's 2 panels there.
There's 3 panels, right?
I know.
Is there 3?
Well, the basement has some daylight windows, but it's definitely.
That looks like every 2-family in
we walk
every.
in, up the steps, first floor. Like that's what it looks
I know. So we're gonna call on that because that changes the whole thing. But let's stick to this conversation about it being a single family and how we're assessing how to get to that price.
So I think with that much water, if you're
plaster.
Yeah, I mean, take it out. You
Or
got to
just
get
put the sheetrock
a
in.
drywaller in there and just,
put it in.
put it in.
Drywall's usually a pretty large chunk of money.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
I mean, on a 5-bedroom house though, or 4
that's
bed,
a lot.
that's
That's
a lot of drywall. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of drywall for sure.
But I would plan for a lot of plumbing things there, because if you open up the walls and everything's copper and it's been wet, you're gonna
Game
have
over.
leaks and whatever. So
plumbing.
Get your PEX budget ready.
And electric. So are we going to put a kind of a baby budget to plumbing and electric?
Let's do 10 for plumbing.
Okay.
You probably won't use all that. That
Okay.
gets more like the Taj Mahal in a house. That replumbs everything.
Yes.
Okay. And
What's
electric?
your heat source? Baseboard?
Yes.
Yeah. So if the plumbing in the walls is shot, your baseboard's shot. Those are all going to spring leaks. So.
Yeah.
And electric, what would you budget for that?
No, $2,000.
Yeah. Under 5 for sure.
Okay, let's just put 5 just to go at the higher end. Give me some room. All right. So, I mean, other than that, windows, maybe some
Windows,
window.
I mean, you might be able to, as needed. I mean, there's some in the back that look like they're boarded up. So
There's some in the back that are boarded up, some in the front that are brand new. So,
Yeah. As needed windows.
all right. So let's add that. We have 3 baths, which is $15,000. Somebody have a calculator?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 baths, 45. So 3 baths at 15,000. A new roof is at 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
A kitchen is at 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
Carpet, lamination, flooring. I mean, what can we put a round estimate?
How many square foot do you have?
Estimate.
I think it was like 2,000 square feet.
All right, so put like a $7,000 or $8,000 budget. You'll probably come in under there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just put 8 for numbers. Plaster and drywall, lots of that.
$7,500, $8,000.
Yeah, we'll do 8.
Okay, we'll put 8,000 to that, and then 10,000 in plumbing and 5,000 in electric. So what would be the total renovation, adding those numbers up?
71.
Yeah, I got 71 as well.
Yeah, so I had estimated just with a blank $80,000.
Yeah.
So that's good that I was in that range as well. All right, so now Kurt, work with me. I have $300,000. 300,000 is the ARV, and 71,000. What?
ARV.
ARV, and we got 71,000 is our what are we calling that? Repairs?
Yeah, repair.
Yeah.
Repair cost. Okay. Now what else? How do we work this?
Okay, you got closing costs, you got holding costs.
Holding, closing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so holding. What are we talking about?
How long you get how long is it going to take you to get it
What's
done?
the time frame?
2 months. Let's say. Does that sound
Nope.
realistic? 3
No,
months.
your holding costs. I
Or
mean,
a
call it
year.
6 months.
6 months to a year.
Okay.
What you want to plan for? We
Okay. Let's
just went through this, so because we were under contract, we renovated it in 8 weeks. Under contract, buyer lost their job at the 11th hour, canceled, back on the market. 3 months later, they just extended our closing date another 2 weeks.
Great.
So
Okay. So
our
this is
closing
for
are
a fix.
6 months to 9.
This is for a fix and flip. So we have to think about that is the selling process. You're still holding it, right? So I just crossed out the 6 months and I put 9 months. So
What's
now
your
what are we gonna
What's
estimate?
property tax?
Property tax is 7,000.
All right, just add that.
Just 7,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You
Uh,
got utilities in there.
do you have financing cost?
What do you mean?
Are you buying it cash or are you financing?
I think this has to be bought cash, but
Okay.
let's
But then no.
say that financing costs like mortgage, like debt services.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I mean, if you're financing it, your closing costs now are,
Okay.
10 to 15,000.
Well, in this situation, there's no way that this is getting financing.
So no, but you still have. I mean, you're still gonna have title fees, legal fees.
So
etc.
about 2,000 with title, let's say another 1,000 or so with attorney. Let's call it 4,000 with those kind of closing costs. Maybe you have to get a permit, whatever. So $4,000 for closing costs.
Yep.
But now we also have to sell it, and we're gonna have real estate commission as a closing cost on the sell end.
Yep.
Right, and so we're gonna factor in 6% for 6% on top of the 300,000
Plus
right?
attorney fees again.
Plus what?
Plus attorney fees again.
Right. Okay. So
Right,
closing.
like, just in case, like you're gonna need all those.
So
all-
commission at 6% is going to be 18,000 approximately. Closing costs with the attorney.
Just
We're not going to need to do title work because the buyer is going to pay for the title work. We're going to have to pay for whatever CO work or whatnot. So let's just put another $4,000 for closing costs with the attorney and little things that might come up.
Yeah.
On top of the 18,000 that is the commission. So now, shall we add this up?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a $300,000 sale price, assuming we have a $71,000 repair. If we hold it at 9 months times 7,000 is what? $63,000 for holding. Oh no, I'm sorry. Not
For the whole 7,000 for the taxes.
sorry. You're right. 7,000 is taxes. Closing is 4,000. Closing on the other end is 4,000 again, plus the real estate commission, which is 18,000.
Mm-hmm.
So now, do I just take? I'm going to take this all in. What am I going to do
You
now?
gotta add contingency in there too.
What?
You gotta add contingency in there too.
Contingency?
You can add the contingency on the
I would
71.
on the 71. Yeah, I would round up like
80,000.
80. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to cost me 80. Holding it is going to be $7,000, and selling it is going to be 26,000 in and out, and fixing it is 80,000. So now I would have 80,000. I would have 26,000 and 7,000, and if I add that up, that's $113,000 I would have to put into this.
Correct.
Yeah. Which our rough estimate was about 100. So yeah.
Now, what do I purchase it for? How do we
So-
work backwards to that? Because we're saying it would be worth 300,000. We're not going to have to put any deposit down. We're just going to have to pay for it in cash. So show me what math you might be doing also when you're done with that.
My brain. I got baby brain. That's a 30%. I mean, if you bought it at 100,
You got 30%.
you would have a 30% return.
So if we bought it at 100,000, we paid $100,000, and then we put in another $113,000,
Correct.
which means all in we'd be in for 213, and if we sold it for 300, we would make $87,000.
Yeah.
Do you have partners?
Do we have partners? We have we have Dana is on the call here, my sister, who is very interested also and has some cash, and as well as Godfrey's boss partner, Dennis, who's the contractor. So we have people. It's just who wants to do this deal.
Because
Who wants to go to TD Bank and write a check for the 100?
I mean,
No.
Or we can get it. We can get it out of the wall.
Is this on Facebook Live?
I'm just
No.
joking. I don't have any money in the walls. I have no money in the wall.
because that plays into the question, and I think as you know, we're talking about this in context of a real estate agent community, and therefore there are certain benefits to that.
Yeah.
And as you bring partners in, that plays into the role that they do, that your value add. If you're doing, the reason I asked really is if you're doing this by yourself, you know, the commission structure changes. You're actually getting a bonus to yourself on the purchase.
especially if you bring your own buyer, which
Right.
is not totally out of the question. either.
Right. Absolutely.
And you just saved yourself almost $20,000.
Yeah.
So
And with the contracting being done on our end, we might be able to get some of those costs down. And we did
and
assess.
on the purchase, there is a commission that you would be earning for yourself on the
Sure.
purchase. So then, you know, you add a little bit of that back.
$3,000, you know.
It's
Yeah.
not, it's minimal, but still, I mean,
Get all that
You know.
1% Exome gives you.
But now it's on the regular, so
Oh, good.
nice. Yeah.
I might get $2,000.
Yeah, we only got 1%.
All right. So, guys, was this helpful to talk this through?
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I
But
guess
if it's a two-family, then everything just changed.
well, if it's a two-family, I think I can just call everybody on here back, and we can figure out what we're doing. I'll get on that. I'll make sure I call down to the town, see if I can get somebody there after lunch, probably.
Well, 'cause your renovation costs, like something to consider with that is your renovation costs actually go down a little bit because the finishes you need to put in there are totally different than when you're selling a single family home.
That's right.
So you're looking for durable and like, you know,
Yeah.
that can take the beating, not necessarily like pretty.
So with that though, the other thing that we do add to it, just to be mindful, is you add a kitchen.
Yeah.
So we add another kitchen, which is $15,000, even though we might save
Well,
in
you
some
could
weeks.
drop that number.
It could be a $10,000 kitchen
It
now,
could be a
right?
$10,000 kitchen. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You just go find a scrap at the granite yard and like you can slap it in. So there's some things that you can kind of do to change that.
I would also bet I mean, I don't know where the third full bath is, but I would bet you're dropping a bathroom if you're
Yeah.
converting a two-family.
There's one in the basement. Godfrey, where's the tub?
Stairs.
Underneath the stairs. You got to climb in it. It's like
You need to send me a picture of that.
So you really looked at an illegal three-family.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
did.
There was a
Yes.
kitchen in the basement. There was a kitchen in the basement too. So
it's how we roll, Middlesex. It's how we roll.
It ain't
Oh,
just
not in
Middlesex.
I'm sure. All right, guys.
I was like, I spent enough time in Patterson. This is a regular occurrence.
She's like, we got 8 families. We got illegal 8 families.
Some cities turning single-family homes into like 5-family complexes.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we're going to do some more research. We'll get back to you guys. We'll definitely be texting you this afternoon, and great spending time. I love these Fridays. It's something that I actually really look forward to. It's just a short half hour, and it's really is inspiring me to get our stuff going. Right. So thank you.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
next Friday.
All right. Bye guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
guys.